Morning. Hope you all had a wonderful night. Mubarak here, and I'm here with the daily market preview as we do every day. I hope we all had a beautiful weekend and we're ready for this week. So, yesterday we gave a brief market outlook and talking about what we're looking for. And basically, we spoke about Euro USD, and since yesterday, I think we've had how many pip move? Let me. So since yesterday, we've had 80 pip move. Wonderful, just beautiful. I couldn't take advantage of this because I was quite busy yesterday. But if you did, congratulations to you. So you can see, let's talk about this trade a little bit and how you could have found a position in this. You can see we were hovering around this quarterly open, which was acting as support area, and then we had this consolidation. Now we came here, we took out that liquidity. We're also targeting, okay, perhaps we could come take this liquidity, but market doesn't always have to retrace to the discount, guys. That's something you need to remember. Market doesn't always have to retrace to the discounted levels. From here it could start moving, and that's what happened in this case, in this scenario. So basically, after we took out we swept, then we came into here, we swept this liquidity, and this was our high. Now this was our low. We had the change of character right here, and then you could have looked for those buys which you stop beneath here and targeting a new high. So I think at your peak you could have been at, perhaps, let's see, okay, so for 1 to 1.5, so you could have targeted 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. So beautiful trade overall. If you're in it, congratulations. But now, if you want to take advantage of this, you have to wait for a retracement. And if you look here, you want to wait for a retracement around this area, around this. Let me mark it out with a box right around this area. So you would want to wait for a retracement there, as even the dollar is quite short at the moment. So you can see with the dollar, we grabbed this liquidity above here, and since then we've started to sell. So it's quite clear to see that, okay, you should just look for shorts on this market for at least for the time being until we hit this levels. Let's see what wants to happen at this level, but you could just see the order flow is to the downside, so there's no reason looking for longs on this. We've passed this bullish phase, and all you just want is short until further notice on the dollar. So I would be waiting. Perhaps if we come into here, try to fill this gap, that would be nice to see, and then from there we could look for some short positions on this pair, on this index rather, so on this currency index. So moving on, so we have gold next. With gold, guys, gold had a breakout, and now we're trading at an all-time high. You really can't do much about this, so for now you just wait for liquidation, and then any liquidation is giving you a chance for an entry. We have all of these gaps right here. We have this liquidity resting here. We also have this being built up, so all you just have to do is wait for those events to occur, those liquidation events, and then you could look for an entry. Okay, so it's just all about patience. As with AUD USD, guys, beautiful setup overall. If you're in this, congratulations. You can see, as we swing wise, we're bullish, right? So we retrace into this liquidity low, and here we took out all of this liquidity, pushed up, right? And from there we came into this extreme lows, and since then we've not even looked back. We had a retracement here, built up liquidity, from there took it out, and then we just started to push up again. So it's just beautiful price action overall. You could see areas of liquidity low that we had marked, took it out to the T, and then we had the change of character, retracement into here. You look for those longs, and then from there it's to the moon. Beautiful setup overall, as even the Aussie dollar is quite bullish at the moment, even with the Kiwi dollar, due to their policy, especially with New Zealand. They are easing their current cycle, their rate current cycle, and so that is causing some bullish momentum to come into this market. So it's you could look for Kiwi dollar longs. That's not a bad trade to take, as we've been discussing that for quite some time now. You can see also here, what do we have? We had all of this liquidity built up once we took it out, and then we just changed character and we started to push up from there. So I will have to reevaluate myself, as as I'm not even a part of this trade, and also it was due to the fact that I've been on the journey. I've been on the road for quite some time. It's the holidays, so I haven't been able to really sit down and focus on the market. So that has been quite hindering me. But yeah, beautiful trades overall, all around the board. Let's move on to GBP USD. Is also quite beautiful, and this is also this buy also is a consequence of the yen. So basically, in like, if you think of the yen, think of the yen as like a car that has been stuck in the mud for 30 years, right? And then now the Japanese government is the driver. Then they shifted it to gear one, right? It's a big deal, but really doesn't make much of a difference, right? The yen has been at 0% for a very long time. Now they moved it to 0.75%, right? And when you increase the rate, when you hike rate, currency goes up, right? But in the yen's case, because it's been at the and the real borrow rate is also still at a negative, because they have the interest rate at 3%, right? And then they have inflation at 3%, and then they have interest rate at 0.75. So if you buy an apple, for example, right, you buy an apple for $100 today, right, and then next year it's $103, and you have to just pay $100.75. You see, you're still profitable off of that, right? And so that's the point. So the yen carry trade is still very much alive, in which people sell the yen and buy other currencies where they have higher interest rate. And for example, people sold the yen and bought the pound. So and that caused the spike on the pound, and I'm not looking for shorts at the moment, as I've always maintained that once we break above this line, we would start to look for longs. So I'm expecting here to hold as support, and then I would look for longs from that area. Okay. So moving on, USD CAD. Guys, on USD CAD, guys, we saw a sweep of this high, and then from there we started to sell from there, guys. As we know, we're waiting for some confirmation, right? And I think we've taken out these lows. So we talked about taking out all of these lows, and now that has happened, except for the last one, right? So we've taken out two of the three, so we expect to take them out, and we still have this ascending lows here. So let's see what wants to happen on USD CAD, but it's very much bearish, and we spoke about this. You just look for liquidity grab and then a change of character, and you could look for an entry on this. Okay, USD CHF. So the USD Swiss franc, guys, this was very much consolidative, and we were targeting these lows, guys. If you were here, you remember, when we have consolidation, what do? We use the FIB tool, right? The 0.25 and the 0.75% levels, and that's our range tool. We sell from the 0.75 and we buy from the 0.25, right? And also, you also want to consider that, okay, this pair is a bearish trend, right? So you would strongly favor sells rather than favoring buys. And basically that's what happened here, as we had this descending highs and this ascending lows. And if you were a better man, which you should be, right, I mean, you would gamble that, okay, we would take out this lows, right, rather, like, the highs are stronger than the lows, as historically highs have always held against the lows, so the lows are weaker, right? And now what do we have here? We have this consolidation, right? Whenever you see consolidation, it's build up of liquidity, right? And then we took out this sell side liquidity, and we changed character. This became our supply, we pushed into it, and then from there we started to sell. Just a beautiful setup overall, right? And it's also one which I missed this week, so we'll get back to the drawing board. We'll evaluate our tactics and see why we missed this trade. Okay, thank you guys for your time, and I wish you a wonderful holidays.